Okay.
to the cameras.
Okay.
And great. So first you'll tell me your name, title, and the project that you're working on.
My name is Finton. I'm the project manager, and I'm working on the George Washington Bridge project.
How long have you been with Skanska?
I've been with Skanska now for 7 years altogether. I first worked on the Manhattan Bridge, where we did similar main cable rehab and suspender replacement. Then I worked on the Transbay Transit Center in San Francisco, and now I'm back on the East Coast on the George Washington Bridge. Yeah, no worries.
Okay. So we start super high level. Generally, for people that don't live here, what is the George Washington Bridge? What area is it serving? Kind of give us a little bit, place the context of the bridge first.
All right. So George Washington Bridge is 5,000 feet long. It has 2 levels, total of 14 traffic lanes. It's the busiest traffic bridge in the world. It serves 103 million vehicles a year, and it crosses the Hudson River between New Jersey and New York, and Interstate 95 also crosses the Hudson River via the George Washington Bridge.
Okay. About how old is it?
The bridge was constructed between 1927 and 1931. It was opened in October of 1931. So it's 87 years now since it was officially opened.
And what generally, so not our scope of work yet, but generally, what is the Port Authority doing to?
Okay, so the Port Authority has just started their Restore the George rehabilitation program. That program consists of 11 contracts in total. The Port Authority is going to invest $1.9 billion in that program. Our contract here is the largest component of that program. We're replacing the suspender cables and rehabilitating the main cables. And our contract is worth $451 million.
And the overall, on the other side of it, right? Like Bayonne was like, we're doing this so that we can raise it and ships can come underneath it. Like, what's the overall point of this? Is it to keep it safe? Will there be any difference in the traveling public, or is it mainly a refurb to keep the bridge functioning? Kind of
Okay.
what's the point of all that?
Yeah, there's a number of components to this contract. The main component is replacement of the suspender cables. The Port Authority carried out some testing and found that there may be some corrosion in the core of the suspender cables. So part of it is real structural rehabilitation. That work has never been done since the original construction in 1931. There will be no change to the traffic lanes to the public. However, we are also constructing ADA bike and pedestrian ramps on the New Jersey side, but the main purpose is structural rehabilitation.
Okay. Can you give me a slightly different? Is that public? Like, would the Port Authority also say that, or do they hedge off of that message? Do they phrase it to? Does that make people think it's unsafe, or like we're looked and it's corroded? Like a way to say like it's normal. It's an 80-year-old bridge over a body of water. Like,
Yeah.
that some of the normal wear and tear needs to be addressed.
Okay.
Or do you think the Port Authority's that's a public message and they're comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's probably a fair point. Yeah.
Slightly different version.
Okay. Okay, so the one of the main purposes of this project is it's really a long-term investment in the bridge. Some of the cables and some of the work we're doing has never been rehabilitated since the original construction. One of the unique aspects of this project is we're going to install a dehumidification system on the main cables. It's relatively new technology. Only 2 bridges in North America have a dehumidification system on their main cables at this point in time. Somewhere in the region of 20 suspension bridges in the world have that. That system basically pumps dry air through the main cables and practically eliminates corrosion of the main cable wires. So it's really a long-term investment in one of the Port Authority's premier facilities here in the New York area.
anybody tells us we could never use anything publicly, but just in case we can, it'd be nice to have. Okay.
They prefer that all long-term investment stuff rather than their cables are corroded in the middle.
It's about to fall down. We don't want anyone to get hurt. Okay, so give me the overview of our scope. You said it's the biggest package of all of this broader investment, but what is the piece that we're currently working on?
So what we're currently working on, you mean the specific scope? Sorry,
Yes.
just
Our
a
8-year
bit more
scope.
specific
Yeah,
scope.
yeah.
Okay. Our primary scope here is replacement of the suspender cables and rehabilitation of the main cables. In addition to that, we're replacing the north sidewalk and the south sidewalk. And just recently, we started conversations with the Port Authority about widening the sidewalks at the towers so they'd be more bike friendly.
About how long will that take? 6 months?
I wish. The overall duration of this project is 8.5 years. The primary driver behind that is our working hours are highly restricted, and that's driven by the Port Authority's need to maintain traffic lanes and not impact traffic flow across the bridge during peak hours.
In a little bit more detail, how is our work phased all the way from a year ago to completion? Basic steps.
Okay. So the overall project is 8.5 years. The first 6 months to a year is primarily enabling works on the bridge, so installation of temporary electrical systems, and on the backside fabrication and procurement of materials that lead into the construction phase. The construction phase really just got off the ground at the beginning of the summer of this year. And right now we're up and running with 3 different suspender crews on 3 different quadrants of the bridge.
Okay. Tell me, as a layman, this platforming operation, what's happening with why do we need the platforms? What's the coverage? Like, they're going to go the whole length of the bridge.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? It seems obvious to you, but for general.
Okay. Now one of the challenging parts of this project is the size of it, but also the spacing between the suspender ropes. That spacing is unique. It's 60 feet on this bridge, and in order to facilitate our work here, we need to be able to access the entire length of the main cable. To do that, we've installed platforms that are 60 feet long, 14 feet wide, and they hang from the main cables. Those platforms will allow us not only remove the cable bands and refurb, which is part of the suspender operation, but it'll also allow us to do the main cable rehabilitation, which consists of wrapping with new structural wire and with an elastomeric wrap. Okay, so right now we're approximately 18 months into the contract. We've got main cable platforms installed from the New Jersey side of the bridge all the way to the New York Tower. So we've got the New York side span remaining. We should complete that by the end of this year. And to date we've got 2 panel points of the suspender ropes replaced out of a total of 148. Okay. Everything that's happening at the same time. Okay. Okay. So the sequencing of this job is fairly prescriptive. We have to, by contract, complete the north side first. However, there is the opportunity to work on multiple locations at the same time, and we're working right now with 3 suspender crews, one in New Jersey on the side span, a second in New Jersey on the main span, and we just recently started a 3rd crew in the middle of the bridge. Sorry, I'm not sure where I was going with that.
Just, I guess, what kind of coordination is involved to, and isn't supposed to cut work happening at the same time, or is that first?
No, we're trying to do that and kind of get it out of the way.
You also have the option to say that's not a good question, I don't want to do it. If there's not a point there, we don't have to.
Not really. I mean, it's kind of a lot of our.
One pass, use it wisely.
Yeah,
Okay, we can skip it.
I'll use it.
Mike talked at length about the hoisting operations, so I think we can skip that one. So, you used the word unique once before, but you've worked on a lot of these kinds of projects. We worked on the Manhattan project, the bridge project, I know it's different, but what's unique about this one? What's particularly unique about this bridge? You're freezing.
What's that?
You look like you're really cold.
Am I? Probably getting there. What's unique about this? What did the other guys say about that?
Height, pitch, traffic.
Okay. So there's several unique components to this project. One of them is the requirement for temporarily supporting every floor beam before we install the new suspenders. We've worked on bridges before, we've replaced suspenders before. However, this bridge, because of its size and the spacing between the floor beams, the temporary support is a huge component of this job. Makes this job a unique challenge for Skanska. In addition to that, we're installing a dehumidification system, which this will be the 3rd bridge in North America to get a dehumidification system installed. All right, stuck there. This is unique. Did either of them mention the length of the job? No. Right.
Geographic or time?
No, time. I was going to say. Okay, so another unique challenge to this job is the duration of the contract. It's unusual that our projects would span 8.5 years. That duration presents some unique management challenges. Maintaining our workforce, maintaining a consistent workforce, even going into our management staff, maintaining those key people that know the job and can make it successful for us. Also, a unique challenge with a project of that duration is managing and forecasting our cost over such a long time period. Yeah.
So Mike said a thing to me in the office that I forgot to get him to say on film, so I'm gonna make you say it. To flip side that same point, as a company, what's the opportunity for us in a project that long? Because he was talking about, I said, well, you have the same team the whole time. He's like, no, and part of the reason for that is that it's such a high profile, like great project that in that time frame we want to bring a lot of people through it, like showing up people, like you give them lots of exposure to it. So you just add that point to what you've already made, but the opportunity of a project that length is
Okay.
kind of a nice way of phrasing it. That doesn't sound like it's going to be a rotating door, but
Okay.
This time we expose a lot of our workforce and managers or whatever in your
Okay, so there is a lot of repetition in this job. We've got 592 suspenders to replace. over the course of the 8.5 year job. However, that does present some opportunities as well. We can bring our younger staff in to learn the technical components of this job. It also gives us an opportunity to build on our relationship with the Port Authority. We understand how important a project this is to them, so therefore it's important to us, and we look forward to making it a successful project for both of us.
Alright, last one for me is just what's on the horizon. So it'll take us a few weeks to edit this stuff together. It'll come out probably around the end of the year. Mike might even push it to the beginning of next year. So you've given us a snapshot of where we are right now. What's next? And for the next 6 months, we're going to be focused on what?
Okay. Over the next 6 months, we'll be focusing on making our suspender operations as successful as possible, fine-tuning our processes, working through our Plan, Do, Check, Act process, and getting those processes really dialed in. Starting up in spring of next year, once the weather improves, we'll be starting the main cable rehabilitation operation. So right now we're preparing for that, and that's really the next big operation that will start. I think so.
Okay, we're going to break this down.
Right.
And